Zantz.
Aye.
Councilmember Ronning.
Aye.
Councilmember Harrington. Councilmember Urkel.
Aye.
Okay, that motion passes. On to the one item on tonight's agenda, the TIF 1 and 2 agreement for East Bethel Village Apartments Phase 2. Stephanie?
Okay. I was trying to get a hold of Stacy because I don't think she's checked on yet. So tonight we have the TIF agreement for Phase 2 Village Apartments from Ram Group LLC. So tonight's is to consider approval of the resolution and the TIF agreement for the Phase 2 Village Apartments. A little bit of a background. So June 29th, City Council had a special meeting and the council discussed the TIF analysis for village apartments. Phase 2 consists of 70 apartments, in which 20 units will be 1 bedroom, and 50 units will be 2 bedrooms. 20% of the units, 14 will
Stephanie?
be. Yes?
Yeah, I think you need to speak towards the computer. We can't hear you.
Can't hear me at all? Okay.
Now we can.
Okay. Sorry about that. 20% of the units, or 14, will be affordable to persons at or below 50% of the area medium income. So Ellers completed the terms of the agreement, which is dated July 13th of 2020, and a TIF analysis, and the TIF developers agreement and the resolution. All these documents are attached as part of your packet. Ellers recommends a PAYGO TIF note for $731,000 for 12 years. At the July 13th, 2020 regular city council meeting, council tabled the request for the approval of the TIF agreement for Phase 2 to allow additional time to review the term and the amount of the TIF note. So a special meeting was called for tonight at 6 o'clock to consider the TIF request for this project. And just a little bit of a background too. So last Wednesday, Rich Petty, the developer, got a hold of staff and said that they needed a completed developer's agreement for the site improvements for Phase 2. He requested this agreement be completed in time for tonight's meeting. However, staff determined that we were unable to complete the developer's agreement before tonight's meeting. We didn't have an adequate time to address all the items necessary to complete the document. However, staff, myself, and the city engineer are starting to work on the developer's agreement and hopefully to have a draft agreement for city council to look at the July 27th council meeting. At this time, staff is requesting council consider the approval of resolution 2020-37, the resolution authorizing execution of a development agreement and the TIF agreement for the East Bethel Village Apartments Phase 2, contingent upon the approval of the updated architectural design for Phase 1, which staff did receive that, and the approval of Phase 2 developers agreement for utilities, architectural standards, and site improvements. And has Stacy checked on yet? She is to be here to answer any questions that you may have.
I am here.
Okay, there you go. So Stacy's here to answer any specific questions towards any of these documents.
Any questions from council? So tonight, we're just approving the resolution, or asked to approve the resolution to enter into the developer's agreement, because the agreement's not done, correct? Is that what you said, Steph?
Yeah, no, the developer's agreement is completed. The TIF developer's agreement is completed. So that's attached as part of your packet, so that would be part of your approval tonight. What Mr. Petty let me know is that he needs the other developer's agreement that has to do with the site plan and utilities and such. They would need a new one for this Phase 2, separate from the Phase 1 apartment buildings, and staff, as you know, letting us know on Wednesday of last week that they needed it. We just did not have the time to get it completed.
Okay. Is there a motion from council? What page is that resolution? 37, is that correct?
I don't have a page number on mine.
It is page 37 of your packet.
Okay.
Resolution number 2020-37, resolution authorizing execution of a developer's agreement. If I have that right. Oh, I thought this was supposed to be the TIF. Is that not the TIF?
No,
Mr. Mayor,
it is the TIF development agreement. It's the TIF agreement is also called development agreement rather than TIF development agreement. So the one that we have in our packet is the TIF development agreement. Even though it says just development agreement, it's the TIF development agreement.
are we entertaining a motion right now?
Yes, we need a motion.
Mr. Mayor, may I speak before the motion happens? Just one quick thing.
Yes, Rich.
Rich Petty, Ram Group. One thing we did want to request was that our 20% that we meet for TIF guidelines as far as income goes, if we want to be able to spread that between the two buildings. So for instance, the same number of units, but if by chance we have 2 in this current building that meets the requirements, that would be then, for instance, 16 units in building 1 that we still have, that we need to meet the total of the 30 between the 2 so we can spread it between 2 buildings. If not, what we end up doing is having to shift the tenant from a building over to the other side to make sure we meet it. But Stacy might have to comment on that part of it.
Stacy, is there an issue of spreading it across two different TIF districts? I think we lost Stacy.
Was she by phone only? I didn't even see her on the.
She was on video earlier.
Oh.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Mayor, council members, there is an issue because you have 2 separate TIF agreements. So the reporting requirements are separate for each phase. So each one is required to have 20% of the units to be affordable. They're 2 separate projects.
That's fine. We don't want to ruffle it then. That's fine. I appreciate it. Thanks, Stacy.
Okay. And we need to entertain a motion here.
I will entertain a motion for the resolution authorizing the execution of a development agreement with EB Properties LLC, resolution number 2020-37.
Second.
Okay, motion made, second, discussion.
Steve, could we make a correction? The motion should be to approve resolution 2020-37 and the TIF agreement for the East Bethel Village Apartment Phase 2. And both of those are TIF-related documents. They're not the city-related developers agreement. So actually, we're approving 2 things, and it's, if we could make the motion as written in the recommendation, we can cover those items.
Jack, where is that then in the packet?
Yeah.
There's the resolution 2020-37, and then there's the TIF development agreement, which is the longer document.
Very well. I will amend my motion to include the passing of the resolution 2020-37, resolution authorizing execution of a development agreement with EB Properties and the TIF agreement as well.
I'll second the amendment.
Okay, motion made in second, discussion.
Mayor?
Yes, Stacy.
This is Stacy. Just to clarify, I think the council member did have the motion correct the first time. The resolution 2020-37 is approval of the TIF agreement. That's what that action is actually doing. It's approving the TIF agreement that you're entering into. So it's not an extra motion on top of that. So your motion is correct that you're approving resolution 2020-37.
My apologies.
Withdraw the amendment, Randy?
Yes, I will withdraw the amendment. Thank you.
And support the withdrawal.
We're back to the original motion. Any further discussion on this motion? Okay, hearing none. Mr. Sweeney, can you take roll call vote, please?
Yes, Your Honor. Mayor Voss.
Aye.
Councilmember Plaisance.
Aye.
Councilmember Ronning.
Aye.
Councilmember Harrington. And Councilmember Urkel.
Nay.
Okay, that motion passes. So that should conclude our meeting for tonight. The motion to adjourn.
Thank you for taking the time, council. We appreciate it greatly.
All right, thanks, Rich. Thanks, Stacy, for being here. Need a motion.
Thanks,
to adjourn. I think Tim is offline here.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion made or second?
Second.
Motion made in second. Mr. Sweeney, can you take roll call vote, please?
Mayor Voss.
Aye.
Councilmember Plaisance.
Aye.
Councilmember Ronning.
Aye.
Councilmember Harrington. Did we lose him?
I think he's offline. So,
Councilmember Urkel.
Aye.
okay, that motion passes and our special meeting is adjourned.